All right, hey everybody. I am so excited. It is a couple days after Christmas and we are live. Hi everybody, welcome to the On Fire Show. This is the host, Daryl McKell Brooks, with my other two great co-hosts. Yes, Rebecca. Are you there, Rebecca Boyd?
I am
Yeah.
here. So
And
excited to be here.
and Chris Cloud. Hey Chris, wow man, how you doing?
It's a long time making. Glad to be here.
Thank you all for watching and supporting.
I am just a big patriot and lover of freedom. And
I'm coming to you guys from what I call the front line of the heartland.
It's the On Fire Show. Welcome everybody. I love that intro. This is the host, Daryl McKell Brooks, with the other two hosts, Chris Cloud and Debbie Boyd. How you doing, Rebecca Boyd? My fault.
I'm doing good. How about you, Daryl?
Oh, I'm so excited. I am in the front line of the Heartland right now. I am downstairs while Chris is upstairs.
Yep.
And so, how was your Christmas?
Good. It went by fast as always. How about yours?
Oh, you don't want to know. I wish I had a percussion grenade.
Here in Missouri, the top election official says the Colorado Supreme Court suing former President Trump ineligible. Wrong. Our Missouri Chief Bureau reporter Emily Manley joins live from Jefferson City tonight with reaction from state leaders. Emily.
That's right. Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft says Missouri will reject what happened in Colorado, saying that the people of this state need to decide for themselves. While Governor Mike Parson says that this ruling only causes more division among Americans. Across the aisle, the Senate's top Democrat says,
Hello, Atlanta. Hello, Rebecca. Yeah, that was some type of mistake. We got to fix that. So Chris, how was your Christmas?
For the first time in memory, it was quiet.
Yeah.
We were the guests at others' houses instead of playing mine host and having everybody here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it was. It was an interesting Christmas. Not like the Christmas I usually have for the past, I guess, 8 or 9 years. But it was interesting Christmas. We're we're now talking about the issues of immigration because we see now the immigration problem, immigration at the border crossing over. For the past 2 years, we probably had over 600,000 people just crossing to the border. And it's a big issue in America. People are talking about it, especially conservative talk shows. I've been watching Glenn Beck and other ones talk about these things. And, we really have to fix this problem. Chris, we had that discussion on immigration. Talk about your views about what's happening with immigration on your standpoint. What do you feel?
When a liberal references what's happening right now, they call it demography is destiny. And what that means is that if they want to control the destiny, the outcome of what they want, then they manipulate the demography, the demographics. And they celebrate that demographic change. Whenever a conservative or somebody doesn't align with that ideal makes reference to replacement theory, which is the exact same thing with different syllables.
Mm-hmm.
Replacement theory and demography is destiny. Totally the exact same thing. It's like the difference between pride and proud. Pride is celebrated. Proud is frowned upon. This is intentional. It's wide-reaching, and we aren't nearly done with what their plan is, what their intent is. It's all none of this is accidental. I've said that our border has never been more secure than it is right now. Our border is absolute drum tight secure. Problem is, it's not secure by us. It's secure because nobody crosses that border without the knowledge and the sanction of the leading cartels, who now are worth more money than the House of Saud, the Saudis.
Oh,
And they wield power, and they are ruthless.
yeah.
So the reasons where we see these milquetoast pushover politicians, you challenge them. I dare you.
Rebecca?
Yeah, I think it's a huge security threat. Obviously, we have no idea who's coming across the border. Nobody's really actually vetted. And like Chris said, you know, a lot of it is controlled by the cartel. And when you hear the word the cartel, a lot of people just think, oh, drugs and, drugs are being brought across the border. But it's also a huge problem with human trafficking. I mean, just in 1 year alone, they estimate that about 50,000 people are trafficked over the United States and Mexico border by the cartel and by people who are getting paid to smuggle people. So, it's a very profitable thing, and no one's doing anything about it. The Biden administration is turning a blind eye. So one of the biggest problems with human trafficking is the trafficking of children. So children are brought across the border, usually not by a family member. And we know that because when we were actually doing DNA testing at the border of children, we found that over 30% of those children were actually being brought over by a family member. So the Biden administration this spring ended DNA testing of children being brought across the border. So you have to ask yourself why they would do that. I mean, you have to have zero concern about the well-being of children. And not only that, but I mean, 60 to 80% of the women who travel to the United States from the southern border are sexually assaulted. So for people who don't understand what is at risk here, just for the people coming here, it's treacherous. It's not like we're allowing it to be done in a safe way. I mean, most of the women coming here are horribly abused, and children too. So it's awful.
Yeah, and we look now. The news is talking about there are up to 6,000 people right now in Mexico that's headed towards America, and they're talking about 12,000 people or more a day coming to America. And there's something. It's to me, it's embarrassing, and it's like, what are we going to do with these illegal immigrants that are coming in our country? And who's behind it? I'm looking at churches, Catholic charity organizations. All these different groups that are pushing for legal immigration, and we have a president, who has his main issue is immigration issues. And it's not being dealt with. I mean, you look at 3 years ago, Trump shut down the border. Trump was, he was basically sending illegals back to their country, and now they're just coming in his country. You don't know who's in this country, whether they're terrorists or not, or what kind of disease
They're coming from around the world.
Yeah, around the world.
Yeah.
All the way around the world, man.
That's true.
Around the world, and you don't know who's in this country.
Yep. 169.
Who's living?
About 169 people from that across the border just recently were on a terrorist watch list. And the United States has no idea where most of those people have gone in our country.
Yeah, who's living next to you? Who's, and that's one of the biggest problems that we have, especially I have. They're coming into this country illegal. Who are these individuals? What organizations are they? What tribe? What terrorist groups are they with? We don't know what kind of drugs are they bringing in, or what kind of diseases are they bringing in the country. And when you look at what's happening, if you look at some of the press conferences of the mayors in New York, Denver, and Chicago, they're basically saying, we can't deal with this.
Yep.
10 to 15% of their budget, city budgets, are now based on, are basically helping the illegal immigrants find a place. And we have Americans that need a place to live, that need housing, need
Right.
all types of resources, and 10 to 15% of their budget are now going to illegal immigrants. It's sad in America, and for my thing is, why aren't the people getting upset in these areas? Why aren't the people in New York City, Chicago, Denver? Where's the rallies? Where are the protests? If they are having,
well, they're all supporting Hamas and the Palestinians.
Hamas.
That's where all the rallies are.
They're busy.
All the rallies are shutting down the freaking access to the airports, and they're supporting Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The modus operandi, the system that's in place. They walk across the border, they get processed, and then the government puts them on buses and flights and sends them to different parts of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now,
puts
as
them
long
up
as
in
federal
a hotel.
government's dictating where they're going, that's fine. But as soon as Abbott or anybody else like DeSantis directs where that shipment of migrants, illegal immigrants, their destination, then that's manipulating. It's taking advantage of them. It's exploiting them. It's a political ploy. And the reason this, or when Abbott or anybody else charters the flight, is because their intent is to take the reason they got the open border, the reason they're welcoming them in, is so that they can say, we're going to send you, and you to Austin. And we're going to send you guys to Northern Virginia. And we're going to send you guys to Miami and Fort Lauderdale. We're going to direct where you go, and it's going to be beneficial to the Democrat Party. And they're pissed off, and they're casting aspersions and all, you're exploiting these poor people, because they're taking these people and they're sending them places that the Democrats don't want them. They're pawns. Right. They are pawns, and they are being taken advantage of by everybody. So I'm old enough to remember when we used to have, outreach, and we had welfare, we had programs, we had money that we'd send to these nations with the intent. People, I remember when I was a child, I asked my dad, why are we sending money to these countries that hate us? Why can't they hate us for free? And my dad said, it's better for us to buy their loyalty to a degree. And besides, their intent, the idea is all this foreign aid, the idea is that they're able to fix their problems there, and they're not motivated to leave. I remember when we used to send foreign aid to Latin America so they'd fix their shitholes instead of emptying them and having everybody end up in Virginia.
You're right. You're definitely right.
Now we're still sending the money,
Yeah.
but then
we're getting the people. They're all shut. They're all walking out. I don't think you want a beachfront house in Latin America. There can't be any vacancy down there. Every one of them is in Texas right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're definitely right about that. We're going to take a commercial break. Pay for all this. We'll be right back. This is Daryl McKell Brooks, Rebecca Boyd, and Chris Cloud of the On the Fire Show. We'll be right back.
Flip Ammo is your trusted source of high-quality ammunition. We're passionate about shooting and offer a wide range of products from bulk ammo to hard-to-find rounds, all at competitive prices. You can choose from local pickup or fast daily shipping. We are the fastest shippers in the industry. We strategically developed our space next to the UPS shipping center and can ship most orders same day till 7 p.m. Our dedicated customer service team is always available for any questions or product recommendations. Experience the passion, expertise, and exceptional service that sets us apart. Flip Ammo, your trusted source for high-quality ammunition.
All right. And we also want to talk about, listen, I'll be at the gun show tomorrow in Chantilly. It starts at 1 o'clock from 1 to 8 o'clock, and everybody who are worried about their concern, you need to really go get your ammo, get your books. Welcome to America, how cultural Marxism is destroying our country, and it's showing what's happening to our country. And I am so angry about the things that I see what's happening in this country. But I'm more angry about it. Listen, where's the NAACP? Where's the other organizations that represent African American people in these inner cities that are suffering from immigration? Nothing being said about nothing at all. No city council, no community activists, no even the talk radio, the broadcast. Because I'm watching all these different talk shows, and they talk about other things. They want to entertain, and they don't want to talk about politics. But there are people who have been making phone calls and calling in about immigration who have been upset. And these have been the voters, the people in the inner cities, African Americans in the city. And we know now, it's going to be a serious crisis, in Philadelphia, New York City, where there have been activists who have been speaking out, and they're really upset about the situation, but there's not enough people. There's no, the idea of thousands of people coming together to talk about this issue, demand that these immigrants get sent back to their country. And the fact is, you have the Democratic politicians that are pushing an agenda, and a lot of people have been telling me, why are these people coming to our cities? Why are they coming to Philadelphia? Why are they coming to Trenton, Newark, and New York City? Why are they coming to Chicago? I've made phone calls, and a lot of them say it's the Democratic Party, so they have to go along with the Democratic Party say. So if they don't go along with the Democratic Party, they'll be ostracized from the political party, and that's sad. We're supposed to be
Look at what happened to Eric Adams. He had the audacity to question whether or not they could afford to take on any more, and suddenly he's going to get recalled on sex abuse, rape charges, and financial impropriety. He was their darling until he had the audacity to question the narrative.
That's it.
They will cannibalize them without a moment's hesitation. What do you got, Rebecca?
And the media is not covering it. The media is largely left-leaning, so a lot of people don't know how bad this is affecting their state and their city and the economy. I mean, in New York City alone, the illegals that were put up in hotel rooms, we're paying $500 per night for each individual to be put up in these hotels. They're given 3 meals a day, a cell phone, a credit card. They have extra spending money. The 3 meals that they were being provided, they were throwing away and buying their own food. We're not feeding our own homeless. We're not feeding our own poor people. We're not feeding, our vets or, giving them assistance. And it's just, people are struggling now more than ever. And I think if the media would actually cover all of the free handouts that illegals are getting once here, I think they would be outraged.
Where they take advantage of the debit cards and they milk that system, and you see people going into the stores with a stack of EBT cards.
Yep.
The fraud.
They're getting the welfare money. They're giving up to $2,200 a month. I mean, can you imagine $2,200 a month, and you got people in America that are starving, Americans that need for their family, and they are giving illegal immigrants $2,200 a month.
Joe Biden had the audacity to say that, well, we got to send some more money to Ukraine because, they need some walking around money. He actually used the term walking around money. I am fucking livid about that.
Whoa. Welcome to America. I mean, people, for those who will be watching, we want people to get upset. We want people to get angry. We want people to make phone calls, send emails out, rallies, protests, stop being afraid, welcome. I mean, it's welcome to America. This is the new America, what's happening, and this is the agenda that they're pushing, the left is pushing in our government. And if we don't stand up now, then all hell is going to break loose, because we don't know what will happen when with the next band of illegals coming in our country. What will they do? What will they get up? Will they get upset? What happens when the EBT money runs out? What happens when everything runs out? And they say, well, this is America. this is our country. A lot of them believe that, that America took the country from the Mexicans, and now the Mexicans, the Guatemalans, and other people around that whole southern border, that district area, are now coming back in our country, saying we want our country back. Who's behind this? And that's the sad part. Who is behind this? These churches, these Catholic charity organizations. A lot of them need to be indicted. A lot of them need to be raided by American government, because what's happening is appalling. Rebecca?
I agree. And, again, where's the oversight on all of this? A lot of these church groups and church organizations, they're not exactly vetted either. You see these videos coming out, making their way out to the public of these church groups, putting all these young kids in cars, no car seats. They won't say where they're taking them. They won't say where their parents are. We have no idea who these adults are, the so-called sponsors taking them. It's a mess, and there's no oversight.
There were 3 immigrants that came to the.
That is so well orchestrated, and it's so well choreographed. There's no way that is accidental. There's zero way.
If you want people to stay quiet and not question anything, say it's a church group. Get the church groups involved.
And some of the illegals already know where they're going. A lot of it was 3 of them, and they were interviewed. One was going to California. Well, he said he was going to California. One was going to Georgia, and one was going, I think he said Alabama. So they know where they're going at. They've been told where to go. Yeah. Go ahead.
I got an idea. Let's say it's a nice spring evening, and we've all got our windows open, and we're enjoying a cool evening, and the breeze is blowing, and your neighbor on one side of you has got a dog that's incessantly barking. And on the other side of you, there's a neighbor that's got merengue music that's blaring. Nonstop, right? Is the onus, where's the responsibility? Is the onus on you to close your windows and your doors and isolate to protect yourself from the invading noise? Or is it the creator of the noise? Is it their obligation to conceal that so that it doesn't disturb their neighbors?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Trump and everybody before him, I'm going to build a wall. I'm going to build a wall. Hang on a minute. We're not building a wall to keep Americans in. Why are we annexing and taking and eminent domaining American citizens' farmland at extreme cost north of the Rio Grande?
Yeah.
The America I grew up in, and the America that is respected, would go to Mexico and say, here's the deal, big boy. The shit's flowing from your neighborhood into mine. It's your problem. We're going to be nice, and we're going to solve that problem for you. We're going to go 2 miles south of the Rio Grande, and we're going to annex that land. And we're going to build a wall straight as an arrow. No problems with geography or anything else. We're just going to build it on Mexican ground. Anybody on the world, anybody on the planet want to challenge us? I'll be here.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, we're going to keep your problem in your country.
Yeah. One of the things that, I did like about Obama, he deported 4 million illegal immigrants. He was called the Great Deporter. And Trump was on his way. I think he probably deported at least 2.5 million illegal immigrants.
Yeah, well,
and they got upset with that.
Prize for dropping bombs on innocent civilians. So
yes,
so,
he bombed more people than Bush did. Really?
Oh yeah, Obama did. Obama did. He dropped the bomb.
Peace prize.
That song, he dropped the bomb on you. He dropped the bomb, but he did deport. One of the things he was the Great Deporter, because there was a lot of organizations, Mexican organizations, they would tell me they don't like Obama because he deported 4 million. Well, that's what the president's supposed to do, and they called him the Great Deporter. And it's just sad that we have a President Biden who is not recognized. They don't call him the Great Deporter. He's just bringing them in, letting them come in the country. Don't know who's in the country, and basically allowing people that don't know our government and basically hates Americans. I don't believe that. When I see them, I talk to them, and they really are just having a good time. They love America, but I don't think that they love the American people. And something has to be done. If you look what's happening all across the country, people need. I want people to organize. I want people to rally. I want people to speak out. I want people to speak out about their state government and the federal government. If the people who are supporting Hamas and they're having these big rallies, matter of fact, there's a big rally coming up, I think next week in Washington. If those the people that are supporting Hamas and Palestine and Palestinians, getting protests and rally, why can't we, as good Americans who believe in this country, believe in the right way? It's legal immigration. We're all immigrants, but legal immigration is the best way to come in, because we really need to know what's happening to our government, what's happening, who's coming in our country, whether
And
they're
why
terrorists.
isn't it based on merit? What
On
do you
merit,
bring
yeah.
to my table?
Yeah, what do you
Right.
bring
And
to?
it is my
what do you-
table because when my ancestors came here,
Mhm.
oh, this bullshit narrative. Oh, well, you're an immigrant too. It's not your country. You stole the land from the Indians. Yeah, bullshit.
Mhm.
When my ancestors landed in this country, they looked to the left, they looked to the right. They were trying to find somebody to submit their immigration papers to.
Yeah.
Finding none, they fucking built it.
Yeah.
Yep.
They built the immigration office along
Yeah.
with the immigration system, along with the
Mhm.
interstate system, along with the power grid, along with everything else in this country.
Right.
Mhm.
And they worked their tails off for it too, to build what they had. They had no handouts. What I can't stand is we are embracing and creating more of a victim mentality with all these illegals coming in with their hands
Welfare
out. They just
states.
accept it.
A welfare state. Welfare country. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to go to a break, but before we go to the break, I just want to say that we're going to have the Nation's Gun Show video coming on about the Nation's Gun Show coming up this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Talked to Annette. She's excited. This probably be the biggest gun show in Chantilly, Dulles Expo. I'll be there with Welcome to America, and they're going to have all the guns, all the ammo, everything you need for patriots and conservatives and independents. Come out there and enjoy yourself. But we'll be right back. This is a commercial break. This is the On Fire Show.
Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo in Chantilly.
Yeah, that was a quick ad.
Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo in Chantilly, Virginia this weekend. 1,300 tables.
All right.
Gun Show at Dulles Expo in Chantilly, Virginia this weekend. 1,300 tables. Over 2 miles of guns, knives, and accessories. Everything you need for the shooting, sports, and self-defense. Meet Crispy Avila at the EC Defense booth. Concealed handgun classes. The Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo. Friday 3 to 8, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 5. Advanced tickets, coupons, and more info at thenationsgunshow.com. That's thenationsgunshow.com.
All right, we're back. Welcome to the On Fire Show. You're back with Daryl McKell Brooks, Rebecca Boyd, and Chris Cloud. Yes. So, one of the things is, that people are concerned about is that you don't see much talk about what's happening with the border with our politicians, especially the ones who are running for, president of the United States. It's like a non-subject. Why is that?
Why is that? Here's an idea for you. The presidency is a sideshow, and it's a soap opera. The more local your politics is, the better. Because here's the thing: your boards of supervisors, your school boards, your town council, your mayor, they affect your life far more than whoever's in the White House. That is for that's the bread and circuses that's there to entertain us. I really believe it. I had an idea, a concept that what the nebulous, they, whoever they, the deep state, they're going to come to us and say, look, this idea of trying to vote nationally for one dude, it's really not practical with 350 million people in our country. So go ahead and vote for your town council, vote for your local, even vote for your senators. That's fine. But we really think that the office of the president ought to be like, an ambassadorship. We'll appoint somebody, and they'll be kind of like the British royal family. They're figureheads.
Mm-hmm.
You're
definitely right.
I wouldn't put it past the powers that be, if not 24, in 28, to attempt or try or succeed in just totally eliminating that leg of our government, the executive, judicial.
It's like they say, never let a crisis go to waste. So I think whatever crisis is next, they're going to take full advantage of it. So they're going to
say, look, Biden hasn't really been compos mentis for 3 years or 4 years, and we've been perfectly fine. Thank you very nice. It's been us deep state, running things, and so that's we're actually already all right without a president.
That's really true. It's really true. Unfortunately,
it's true. I mean, that's what they're. Think about it. When we heard the kids bitching about boycott, divest, and sanction, the BDS movement with Israel, we thought, oh, what a couple of real radical, spoiled little rats. Look at where that BDS movement's gotten to today with Hamas and Palestine and shutting down highways and protesting. It's like where they're funneling all the energy for Antifa and BLM. And local politics is where it is. You want to affect change in your world, in your life, in your neighborhood, vote local.
Oh yeah, and when I'm in Philadelphia or in Trenton, I don't see it's disappointing, but I don't see the local politicians and both cities and other areas I'm around. They're not talking about immigration issues. They're not talking about certain issues. The people are. But if the politicians that are elected by the people aren't speaking out about these issues, then they can care less. But it's sad because it's disappointing was you have all these illegals that are coming to the country and getting $2,200 to $2,300 a month from the federal government welfare, and you're turning in places like Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, Denver, Newark, Camden to a big welfare state. But we have to look at to the point of who's bringing them here, why are they here, and all these corporations, the pig farms, the beef farms.
Just here, look at what's happening in France, in Spain, all over Europe.
You're right. But there's
demography is destiny. Demography is destiny.
You're definitely right, and it didn't work for Europe at all. It didn't work for Europe at all, and Europe has a big problem right now. But there's all these corporations, pig farms, these beef farms, these other farms they need illegal immigrants, and they're working for them. Some of them has to be questioned.
What they need, Daryl, is slave labor.
It's cheap labor, slave labor. Yeah,
that's it.
It's not cheap labor.
Slave labor.
Indentured slave labor. These illegals, they got no leg to stand on, and that's why they're valuable.
Mm-hmm. You got 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds working in pig farms. I mean, how sad is that? Not going to school, not getting educated.
Well, they come here.
Those are the lucky ones because they're not in the whorehouses.
Yeah.
People don't think that's actually happening, but it is. And these young
it's happening
people
in America.
They owe their sponsor.
Yeah, welcome to America. Prostitution. Child labor issues, child labor laws that are failing our society. We have women are turning themselves to sex trafficking, young kids, young girls, 16 years old, 15, 14 in America. Something is definitely wrong with this country. And that's why we hopefully could push our President Trump will be the next president of the country and do something about it. Something is seriously wrong with America. And this is not the America we knew in 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. allow this to happen. So this is why, we need a new president. We need a new type of government, individuals that are in the government that care about these issues.
I don't know if
Children
we're going to vote our way out of
exploitation.
this, Gerald. I don't know if we're going to vote our way out of this.
Well, your wife been watching the movie Revolution, so you never know. And I watched it too. But what I am saying is that something has to happen. The people have to get upset. And I was talking with another conservative guy. I'm not going to say his name. He said, the illegals don't know how violent we are as a country, what we're capable of doing. And they think America is just so nice and sweet and wonderful. When you get a people upset, when you get people that are in this country, people that are legal, people who've been here for years, families who've been here for years, individuals that believe if something happened where they may have a riot, protest, listen, some type of insurrection, what will happen? What will we as Americans do? And that's the thing. I think that people believe illegal immigrants, when I talk to them, because I see them every day, we have discussions. They think America's just for fun. They can just do anything in this country, and they're now, believe that they can take over this country. So what happens when Americans get upset and say, all right, this has to stop? I mean, that's a serious question.
I feel, Daryl, like that is partly the outcome that they want, say the elite, the powers to be. I mean, when the more you divide a people on issues and the more groups you can divide and cause hate and anger towards, the more distracted they are from the actual issues and problems that are going on in the country. So I don't think our leaders are ever going to see it as a problem, that it's divisive or, angering people on either side. I think that's exactly what they want.
I saw a great cartoon yesterday, and it was a chessboard, and the chessboard was covered in bloody. There was carnage on the chessboard, and off to the right, a couple of inches, there was a dinner table, and the black king and queen and the white king and queen were having dinner.
Yeah. We're going to go to a station break. We got Flip Ammo and the Nation's Gun Show. We'll be right back. This is Daryl McKell Brooks, Chris Cloud, and Rebecca Voigt, the On Fire Show. We'll be right back.
See, this is why you never start picking your nose until you know you're in a commercial break.
Yeah, we got ready for that commercial break. Can we get that commercial break?
Flip Ammo is your trusted source of high-quality ammunition. We're passionate about shooting and offer a wide range of products from bulk ammo to hard-to-find rounds, all at competitive prices. You can choose from local pickup or fast daily shipping. We are the fastest shippers in the industry. We strategically developed our space next to the UPS shipping center and can ship most orders same day till 7 p.m. Our dedicated customer service team is always available for any questions or product recommendations. Experience the passion, expertise, and exceptional service that sets us apart. Flip Ammo, your trusted source for high-quality ammunition.
All right. We have the Nation's Gun Show. I just want to talk about it tomorrow from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
The Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo in Chantilly, Virginia.
Oh, all right, we're back. All right, so let's talk about Nation's Gun Shows coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Dulles Expo in Chantilly. Have you been, Chris? Have you been to the Nation's Gun Show?
The last time I went was about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I always want to go, but I'm poor right now.
Oh, it's listen, aren't we all? It's a great experience, and it's like a nice little cultural event where people are coming out like-minded, and I get so excited when I see on the Dulles Expo Nation's Gun Show. I get excited because I know I'm going to have some fun, sell some books, talk to a lot of different people. And, it's a wonderful experience. And Annette Elliott has done a wonderful job. She is for a woman, and, not that it is to have the biggest probably gun show in America.
That's
And
awesome.
that's awesome. And we have to have her. I've interviewed her a couple of times, and I got to have her on the show again. But it's an awesome thing to have. You see someone that she's inherited the gun show from her father, who is a great man. He's like everybody's best grandfather. You want to, we sit down and talk about the gun show and how it evolved. And people are excited. People come in droves, and whether they're in the city, they're suburb, they're black, white, Americans, male, females, they're all at this gun show. And, you get to experience so many different things and talk to so many people from different views. You have Democrats, you got the liberal left, they come in there and they come in there looking for guns. And they come in there looking for guns. And it's interesting, the liberal left believes also there's some are left. They said, Darryl, I'm a Democrat, I'm a liberal, but I'm going to need some protection because they know now that the police can't protect them. They can't protect people in D.C. They can't protect people in Maryland and all these different other cities. They come in there, they're Democrats. They're starting to see now, if all hell breaks loose, they need protection because they've been told. I mean, you've been told, but in the Democratic areas, they've been told you don't need a gun. Turn your gun in, the police will protect you. We see now that's a lie.
That's
Rebecca,
consequences.
Yeah. I mean,
and the
Rebecca,
police are under no obligation to come to your house or come to your problem to protect you. If they have something else that they're attending to or they refuse, they're not obligated. I think a lot of people don't understand that. When it comes down to it, you're responsible for you and your own safety. It's not the police officers. Granted, there are heroes and much respect, but they are not obligated. You are obligated to protect yourself.
Yeah, it's a must. You have a God giving strength, understanding, ability to protect yourself, your family, and your property.
Yeah.
That's if you see a lion and you watch those shows on YouTube and videos, and you see hyenas trying to attack the cubs, the lion will kill the hyenas because he's protecting that child, that cub, and that's only natural. It's unnatural to allow someone to come in and steal your property, to hurt you, rape your wife, kids, take violence, rob you. That's unnatural. That you should allow it to happen, but have no type of a protection to protect your family.
Right.
Yeah,
that's absolutely correct. I have seen so many videos posted on social media of women saying how unsafe they feel in their cities and in their towns now across the country. There's an answer to that problem. And it's unfortunate that in a lot of these cities where the crime rate is the highest, it's where citizens aren't allowed to own or carry a firearm.
Yeah, turn your gun in.
So
they give you a $50 gift card.
Hey, Rebecca, I have a question for you. Are you at all familiar? Have you ever heard of the works of Gavin DeBecker? Is that name familiar to you?
I have not. No.
Gavin DeBecker has written a number of books and he's done a number of documentaries, and he is probably the nation's premier executive protection agent. He created a very globally respected executive protection service. And Gavin DeBecker, one of the videos that we just saw recently was called, and a book, he actually wrote a book about this, and it's called The Gift of Fear. And Gavin, he's been kind of like Red Adair used to deal with oil well fires back in the day. He was renowned. Amelia Earhart was quite she was renowned as a pilot. Armstrong as a astronaut. Well, Gavin is the same with personal protection and personal safety. And so he's been known for 30 or 40 years, I guess. But the premise of the gift of fear is to recognize your intuition and to not let modern society and culture and evolution deaden your reliance on your gut instinct. I'll send you a link to that, but to anybody watching, I really, really highly recommend. The only place that I've found that I diverge from Gavin DeBecker and his concepts is he's not an advocate of personal firearms ownership. He thinks that should be, if you need it, that's fine. He's not against it, but he thinks that it should be left to professionals. But I'll send you a link, and if anybody out there is curious, check out Gavin DeBecker and his videos, which are myriad, and they're very enlightening, especially about trusting your intuition and how he came to be in the industry that he's in. And I won't blow the punchline, but his experiences as a child were amazing in that regard. So I really highly recommend that people avail themselves of his knowledge and what he's produced free, to the public.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna go to another quick station break, and right before we leave, and we'll be back. This is the On Fire Show with Darren McKell Brooks, Chris Cloud, and Rebecca Boyd. We'll be right back. Yeah, Flip Ammo in the house.
Gun show at Dulles Expo in Chantilly, Virginia this weekend. 13.
Flip Ammo is your trusted source of high-quality ammunition. We're passionate about shooting and offer a wide range of products from bulk ammo to hard-to-find rounds, all at competitive prices. You can choose from local pickup or fast daily shipping. We are the fastest shippers in the industry. We strategically developed our space next to the UPS shipping center and can ship most orders same day till 7 p.m. Our dedicated customer service team is always available for any questions or product recommendations. Experience the passion, expertise, and exceptional service that sets us apart. Flip Ammo, your trusted source for high-quality ammunition.
Flip Ammo, thank you, Curtis, for being a sponsor. He is a great individual, a great patriot. Listen, thank you, Curtis. Flip Ammo. So it's Thursday. We're definitely going to have a great guest. I promise a great guest on for next week. We're going to be really excited about who I have in mind. And so, usually I don't come up with a guest till Tuesday or Wednesday. I know that drives Lana crazy, but it's hard getting guests and getting everybody on time and making sure. This is the first show that we haven't had a guest on, and this is one of these things that I really enjoy doing and pushing out to the public. And I want the public to understand one thing. We really need to wake up. That's what the book is all about. Welcome to America. Waking up. It was a guy. He was a Lyft driver. And he said, "Darryl, I am so sorry that I was asleep." And I've been asleep he said he's been asleep for 20 years. And a lot of people have been asleep, watching Dancing with the Stars, all these reality TV shows, not paying attention to what's happening to our country, what's happening in our schools, what's happening on television, the things that are being pushed all over American social media. And with social media, you have kids 12 years old committing suicide, or too advanced than ever before to really understand what's really happening to themselves in this country. And we see that now. We see that now with the people that are protesting, supporting Palestine and Hamas. We see that now all the colleges. We see that now even high school students are supporting Hamas, and it's sad because they don't really understand. They've been told on social media what is right, and their parents have allowed them to be on the videos, TVs, watch the most craziest videos, social media, phones at 5 years old. and they don't realize that kids are going to be suffering more than ever before, and that kids are going to be pushing an agenda that has nothing to do with America and the love of God. That's important.
Yeah. Agree. Know
Yeah.
the content
Yeah,
that your
what he
kids are
said.
taking in.
Huh?
Go ahead, Chris.
What'd you say?
Oh, what he said.
Exactly.
Oh, you like what I said? Yeah,
I would not let my child
it's
on
like,
social media. No way.
no, because you have parents say it's okay. 5 years
No.
old to have a phone, 5 years old to watch YouTube. You know, so you have, it's sad when you have YouTube, social media controlling your kids. You know, whatever the social media is on is okay because parents are okay with it.
Yep. And then they get sent to college
Mhm.
and they get further brainwashed.
If they even go to college, you know, it's
Yeah.
sad, you know, what's happening across our society, whether they're inner city or suburb kids or black or white kids. American kids are being controlled by social media, and you know, we have parents who are allowing social media to tell our kids what's right and what's wrong.
You know, we've that's an easy. I'm trying to choose my words very carefully. I don't want to say it's a cheap device, but kids these days is a really easy thing to point a finger at.
Mm-hmm. Parents.
Aristotle lamented kids these days. There's a famous an article that Aristotle wrote about, you know, how they're slothful and they don't respect their elders and blah 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 blah. This was thousands of years ago.
Thousands of years ago.
Kids these days, but the ever brilliant Victor Davis Hanson said the other day on one of his podcasts, he says somebody challenged him on that. And he says, you know, they said, you're lamenting kids these days. That's not new. And he said, no. But what is new is that never before generation capable of so little held their predecessors who were capable of so much in such contempt. And so that's the difference with what we're dealing with today is not only the entitlement and not only the soy boys and all these things and the gender dysphoria, which are all crucial issues, but the contempt for there's a combination of ignorance and contempt. Ignorance is a specific thing. It's ignorant. It's the only one of the three types of a lack of knowledge that is willful. You can be dumb, which means you have a learning disability. That ain't your fault. You can be stupid, which means you haven't been educated, which again ain't your fault. But you elect to be ignorant. No, there are a lot of things that I'm stupid about. I'm interested in them, and I'm educating myself as I go along. But if I say I don't know and I don't care, that's ignorance.
Ignorance.
So ignorance, compiling ignorance with arrogance is a dangerous combination.
All right.
That's what we're dealing with today.
All right. And with that, we'll see you all next week. Leave TD Jakes alone, social media. People wake up. There's more important things to focus on than focusing on TD Jakes. TD Jakes I think, is a great man. He is doing the will of God until we see something different. Okay? Thank you all. God bless. We'll see you next week. This is the On Fire Show. Darryl McKell Brooks, Rebecca Boyd, and Chris Cloud. I am right here in the front line in the Heartlands with Chris tonight. See you guys next week. God bless. Peace.
Have a good night.
the weekly On Fire show with your host. To the weekly On Fire show with your host Dal Brooks and two co-hosts Rebecca Boyd and
Everybody, welcome to the On Fire show. This is the host Daryl McKell Brooks with my other two great co-hosts. Yes, Rebecca. Are you there, Rebecca Boyd?
I am here. So excited to be here.
And Chris Cloud. Hey, Chris. Wow, man. How you doing?
It's a long time making. Glad to be here.
Thank you all for watching and supporting.
I am just a big patriot and lover of freedom. And
I'm coming to you guys from what I call the front line of the heartland.